All right, let me see. Good afternoon, scholars.
We've all had a teacher like Mr. Y.
Grab your papers. There we go.
One who makes an impact.
That's going to probably be my helper when it's cleanup time also as well. Go ahead.
One who truly loves what they do.
I love the smiles. You know I love the smiles. All right, come on, let me see. I can tell right away what tables.
Troy Yanakopoulos has been living his dream for 14 years, teaching art to at-risk kids.
If you come from what I come from, this is like being president of the United States. Right? Remember how I showed you how to do the brush, right?
Troy knows firsthand what many of these kids are going through.
Dip it, swirl it, gently swirl it. Now you got a smile to go with that or what?
He was an at-risk youth growing up too.
I want to kind of pass that along and be there, be that adult, be that male figure that can connect with kids on that level and be there for them. What's the one color you want to stay away from when you're mixing all your colors?
The path to paying it forward hasn't been easy though. For Troy, it meant accruing student loans he can barely now pay back. He thought he did everything right. He started out at a community college, then went to UWM with some financial help, including a Pell Grant.
I was working 40 hours a week and then going to school full time.
He still had to take out federal loans for 2 years and was supporting much more than himself.
You got to understand that I'm raising a family at this time.
He's proud of the home and the family he and his wife have built. Troy is on dinner duty tonight, while his son Wyatt and youngest daughter Ellie do their homework.
So use your chart 9.
His oldest, Daisy, comes over often to help.
63. 63.
The family lives in an apartment. Owning a home is one of the things Troy says student debt has prevented him from achieving. That's despite having a second job as a security guard.
You can see I live pretty modestly. It's not pretty exuberant, which I think is important because people need to see that. And you walk a little bit in someone else's shoes, and then maybe you understand why when I got that email saying that there was going to be a $20,000 debt forgiveness, that would have cleared me. I started thinking, wow, I might actually be able to get a house.
$20,000 is exactly how much student debt Troy has left.
I pay into the system, and I think it's important that the system works for me as well.
As the pause on student loan payments nears an end, Biden's forgiveness plan is the only hope Troy has. He says the repayment plans he's looked into are still not affordable for him.
I don't know what's going to happen when they start collecting on these loans in about a month or so. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what they're going to do.
For now, he'll wait and do what he's always done.
Daisy, you want yours Greek style or what?
Pay his bills, support his family, and keep moving forward.
Why? I was school.
Hoping for a solution. Megan Carpenter, Spectrum News. Eviction rates could top pre-pandemic levels in some of our state's largest counties. Inflation, lack of affordable housing, and the end of COVID-era rental assistance are 3 key reasons why. It means some people are having to find alternative ways of living that they never expected. Heather Sanchez uses her car for the things most people do.
Sometimes I have 6 to 9 jobs a day.
She drives it to and from her job as a pet sitter.
I just did a cat sit here.
She drives her children where they need to be.
This is Isabella, Cody, Nathaniel, and Caden.
But over the past few months, this car has become something much more. It's become her home.
This is all our stuff.
Heather and her husband have been homeless since September.
These are our blankets and pillows that we use.
The Sanchez family got evicted from their last apartment in Kenosha.
I even called Crisis, and unfortunately Crisis doesn't help here in Kenosha anymore with hotel vouchers.
Heather says she fell behind in rent payments after a series of medical issues and a surgery.
This is our laundry stuff.
She now parks and lives on the street in front of her mom's apartment. Heather says it's too small and there aren't enough beds for her family to sleep there.
We're just trying to stay together and hopefully find a place that will at least give us a chance.
Court records show Heather's former landlord is suing her and her husband for just over $1,200 in unpaid rent and an outstanding water bill.
It's like I'm taking a chunk of my retirement.
That's her old landlord, Mike Rogers. He started renting to the Sanchez family on March 1st of 2019. He rents 10 properties in the area and owns a small business. He says the eviction process plus months of unpaid rent can cost thousands of dollars out of his own pocket.
I'm a human being too. I do not want to put someone out on the curb, but also I can't afford to pay for them to live in my house.
This eviction is one of 810 filed so far this year in Kenosha County. That's just 64 fewer than all of 2019.
A mass amount in the past couple months.
Bobby Shadle has noticed an increase in cases. She's the legal coordinator for the ELCA Outreach Center in Kenosha. The nonprofit offers coffee, food, and clothing to people in need. It also offers free legal advice.
He is busy right now.
Bobby says the phone rings constantly.
It seems like it's kind of like a double-edged sword in a way that the landlords are doing what they need to do as, humans in this world to provide for themselves. And then we have the tenants who are doing what they need to do as well, but health happens, job issues happen.
The state's court system shows Mike has filed 3 evictions, 1 in 2019 and 2 this year.
If they're a person of their word, then you can be a person of your word and stay with the agreement you had. But if they break their agreement, then it's time to go through the process.
For Heather, this is home for the foreseeable future. She's had 2 evictions in 6 years. Securing another apartment has been difficult.
This recent eviction is making it difficult, and it's just mainly because I was in and out of the hospital that I couldn't afford the rent.
On this night, she and her husband will have the rare comforts of a hotel. But it's short-lived.
Tomorrow we'll be back in the truck, out on the cold streets and trying to figure out what to do for the next day.
A string of next days that for now bring only uncertainty. In Kenosha, Megan Carpenter, Spectrum News.
This is my piece right here.
For Robert Brox, July 7th was anything but peaceful. That day, he heard 13 gunshots feet away from his home. Moments later, Rob rushed to the victim's side.
I literally thought someone was shooting outside of my bedroom window and into my neighbor's house.
He's breathing. Yes, he's still breathing.
That's Rob's wife, Jolie, calling 911.
And it didn't really hit me until Rob yelled out, "Somebody's in the street." And my first reaction was, I didn't want the children to try to come out.
Steps from their house. The gunshots woke them and their 4 children. Rob says survival mode kicked in.
You can't hesitate when your family's life is in danger.
Rob and Jolie both grew up in this area. They've lived on this street for 9 years. They say the violence has gotten worse.
We've seen fires, we've seen shootings, we've seen break-ins into our house.
13 years ago, Rob and Jolie decided to take action to help their community heal. They opened a wellness business.
A healthier way of living, a healthier way of creating a village.
Most of all, as a Black-owned business, they want to be part of the solution to end gun violence in the place they call home.
If we can all work together as a community and just say, hey, we're all equally fed up with the senseless violence.
Bringing their community together.
We have to look out for each other.
They're asking where he got shot at.
With the goal of one day restoring peace. In Milwaukee, Megan Carpenter, Spectrum News.